That young girl was forced to come back to these woods by a homeless man who was living here. Now, many of the residents and parents I spoke to here say they were well aware of the fact that homeless people live here. In fact, we found several tent homes like this one throughout this area. But what they didn't know is that there are 6 registered sex offenders within 1 mile of their homes. Within a few steps of entering this wooded area, it's clear that several people call this place home. Hey, is anyone here? We didn't run into anyone who lives here, but those who live on the other side of these woods in the Island Vista Estates have.
They're just people that's down on their luck.
Pat and Gary have lived next to these woods for decades and say they've never heard of any issues until recently, when a 10-year-old girl was forced into these woods by this guy, 21-year-old Brandon Robbins.
I said, check in the woods because there's people living in the woods back here, and I said, that's probably where she's at.
Investigators say Robbins was homeless and had been living in these woods since getting out of jail 2 weeks ago. He told detectives the young girl was his fiancée.
I didn't know that she was back here with that idiot.
We didn't know
that told him that he had a relationship with this child for 2 years.
Robbins isn't a registered sex offender, but I found 6 people who are living within 1 mile of these homes, 3 of whom no longer have to be supervised.
We didn't know that he was a child molester either.
Parents living next to these woods like Victoria, who didn't want her face shown, want to know why they weren't told by property management about what happened to their 10-year-old neighbor. Instead, they had to learn it from our news report. What's going through your mind right now as a parent?
Just being very afraid because I live close to the woods and I never want that to happen to my son, ever.
I called the corporate management office to ask whether a notice would be sent out to residents, but no one answered the phone. As far as Brandon Robbins, he's facing 2 charges, including child molestation. Reporting in Fort Myers, Deborah Souverain, Fox 4, in your corner.